forged document which does not even represent her name. But because of how good our security services are, we have had to follow her to be sure that she was the same person that was deported out of the country. And over several weeks, we arrested her, and we got to know that she entered through the country with forged documents.
Did she enter through the airport, the seaport, or the land port?
Well, the immigration services will be the best to be able to respond to that.
When you say she arrived with forged documents, did she also go through official borders? Did she go through illegal routes or official borders to enter the country?
She entered through official borders with forged documents.
And we allowed her to go past the immigration checkpoints?
She entered through the immigration checkpoint with her face and a different name.
But we have a biometric system that we deploy. I believe it's connected to people's passports. Does our system not have any way of flagging someone who is entering with a wrong passport or forged documents when their biometric is already captured in the system, considering that this is no mean a person but a deportee from the Republic of Ghana?
Well, truly, very well. But we are aware that when she entered into the country, security services followed to be sure that she was the right person. And you are aware how a lot of Asians look alike. And it took us a bit of time to be able to be sure that she was the same person that was deported in 2017. And we must commend the security services, especially the national security and the rest of the security services that really aided in bringing her arrest to the country.
When did she enter the country? What date is the government working with as a date she entered with these illegal documents?
I do not have the date when she entered into the country, but I'm aware that she's been here just a few weeks.
Just a few weeks. The Ghana National Identification Authority has said to us that she obtained or applied and obtained a Ghana card in Tamale, the northern regional capital, and this happened on 25th August, which is like a week or so ago. So she clearly came to the country before then.
Yes, a week or two ago, clearly came to the country before then. The NIO also, you are aware that non-Ghanaian citizens can acquire the NI, the national card. And obviously she used different names and also forged documents to acquire the Ghana card. And we have been able to arrest all the situation, and we are arranging her before the law court. She
was arrested in Kumasi even though she obtained her Ghana card in Tamale, even though in the past she would have been involved in activities in Accra. What does the government know about her movement in the country? Because that would be a lot of movement for her to have gone all the way to Tamale, returned to Kumasi to be arrested.
Well, I mean, she has her own personal business that she's involved in. In your report, you earlier stated that she was involved in galamsey. You are aware how our gold reserves are scattered across the country, developing very parts in the northern part of the country, not just a central region or even the western part of central region, but I mean, gold has become a major commodity across the length and breadth of this country. So what we know about her activities is what our security agency have been able to pick up, for which reason we're able to monitor her movement from the very time she entered into the country till we're able to arrest her.
I see. Now, she was involved in businesses in Kumasi. That's what the Ashanti Regional Minister said to us. How is it that someone who was deported some 4 years ago still has businesses she's running in Kumasi?
Well, that would be something that would come out very strongly when we enter into the case in court for us to be able to verify all those issues.
If government deported someone, should government not be sure, make sure that that person has no trace left in this country?
You are aware that Ghanaians who work with foreigners always need a local content. And so if someone has a business that is already striving and is legal, and they have local partners, those local partners can continue with their work. But what we are interested in as a government is that she's been arrested. The Attorney General has taken full responsibility to ensure that she goes through the rigors of the law. And I'm very certain that once all those processes have gone through, we'll be able to come back to the Ghanaian people for the Ghanaian people to be aware and know how far the case has gone. But she would definitely face the full rigors of the law.
Explain why this significant shift in plan. Government dropped all charges against her, deported her. Now she's back in the country. Government wants to bring those same charges that it dropped against her back on and also prosecute her for these new crimes. The reason the charges were dropped at the time, Senior Minister Osafo Mafo said to the country and the world that it's because of our national interest, and it also included the Sino-Hydro deal, which the Chinese government was going to give to us. Is it the case that we are no more interested in the Sino-Hydro, for which reason we can damn the consequences and prosecute her here?
Not at all. You recall in 2017, there was a nolli prosequa, which was the right of the prosecutor not to continue. And so she was not even charged or acquitted, even in the law court, but she was deported. And so it's right for the Attorney General to want to even look into the matter. And we are aware and very certain that the Sino-Hydro is not going to be impacted at all, especially because of how far we have moved with our works and development in that regard.
Yes, but the question is, if we deported her and dropped charges against her because we didn't want to offend the Chinese government, and it has to do with the Sino-Hydro project, and the Sino-Hydro money has not completely come because my road, which is the Adenta to Dodowa road, has still not been constructed because we're waiting for Sino-Hydro, then clearly, if we prosecute her now, we'll still be offending the Chinese government, and the diplomatic reasons that were stated in 2017 or 2018 will still hold tonight.
That is a matter that the court will have to decide.
No, the court will not decide matters of diplomacy between the government of Ghana and the government of China. If the government of Ghana decides that I'm dropping a case against an individual or a national of China to save the money I'm expecting from China, courts have no business with that. And that's why when you applied in 2018 that you wanted to drop charges, the judge didn't say no.
Our government is very resolute to ensure that Aisha Huang goes through the full rigors of the law, and I'm very certain that we are not breaking any diplomatic channels as we go ahead with this decision.
And I'm asking, what has significantly changed now? Why are we prosecuting her now when we could not do the last time? What has changed? Is it a change of the president of China? Is it a change of our foreign policy with China? There should be a reason, and because it's the same human being we're talking about. And I believe her capacity at the time is equal to what she is now, and the destruction of our water bodies has not changed. The effect of galamsey on the nation has not changed. So what has changed now? Why are you prosecuting her now and not dropping charges and deporting her?
What has changed is that our government has decided that we would prosecute her even with the old issues that she was involved in.
Why?
Because that's the decision the government has made.
So government just takes decisions, which decisions may even affect our diplomatic relations with a foreign country and also affects revenue, which you badly need at this time.
Not at all, Maro, not at all. Just to put the conversations really in context, is that, yes, I mean, at the time, as I stated, there was a nolli prosequa, which was the right of the prosecutor not to continue the conversations in court and even the prosecution. And so she was deported on that regard. Now she's entered into the country illegally. She's been arrested in the country. She's going to be prosecuted in the country. There are old offenses as well. And the Attorney General and the government have decided to look into those matters without ensuring that we are not going to break any of our diplomatic channel and our foreign policies at all.
If the Chinese embassy says to us to release her and so that they will go prosecute her or deal with her back home, what will be the position of government of Ghana?
The position of government of Ghana is very clear, is that she is going to be arraigned before the law court in this country.
The issue of our borders is problematic. Already we know that our land borders are very porous. People do come in and go out. That is being addressed. But you are saying to us tonight that even the Kotoka International Airport is not foolproof and that people can come through with forged documents and stay in the...
Okay. I didn't say that the Kotoka International Airport is not foolproof. I didn't say that.
How did she enter Ghana? Through Kotoka International Airport?
I didn't even mention how she entered Ghana. Did you ask about...
No problem.
Did she ask whether she entered through the land, the sea, or air? And I said that the immigration services would be the right...
Yeah, but you said that she came through approved routes, and since you haven't mentioned any, the assumption would be for an international person coming to Ghana, they will come through our international airport. Can you then explain to us, did she come through Aflao, Elubo, or Kotoka?
That assumption would be verified in court. The assumption could be that she could use any of the means to be able to enter into the country.
Fine. Let's not assume you are the government spokesperson on security and governance. Through what means or which post did she enter Ghana?
I would want to withhold that to be able to say that the immigration services would be able to give us those responses.
But you also said that she came through an approved route.
Definitely came through an approved route.
And you also said she came with fake documents.
Yes, she came with false.
So now back to my question, and this would not matter whether it's Elubo or Kotoka International Airport. Our borders, we do know that there are borders that are not manned by immigration officers, so people could go through which are illegal routes. But for a person to come through a legal route or an approved route with forged documents, that's problematic for a country that is trying to fight terrorism, don't you think?
Very clearly, our fight against terrorism has been beefed up. I mean, I've just returned from the Upper East region, doing a tour in the various border towns, and I've seen very clearly how our immigration and police and military personnel have root up high-level security. And even prior to that, when we launched the See Something, Say Something, we had also done a number of works within the border towns. And you remember when the president opened the border town, he set up a team to be able to go into the various border towns to ensure that we have all it takes to prevent people from coming into the country with COVID-19. And so all our approved routes are very beefed up, and even some unapproved routes, which we are using the services of drone to ensure that people do not enter illegally, are also being worked upon. What we can say on record is that Aisha Huang has been arrested, and our security services must be commended for the prompt action to this regard.
For many Ghanaians, and I've seen many Ghanaians on social media say that Aisha Huang was not deported in the first place, as was claimed by the government. What would be your response to that? Is government able to come out with deportation documents from 2018 to show to the world that this deportation actually happened?
You are aware how we need to protect the rights and citizens of various countries as it relates to our foreign policy and even diplomacy. Aisha Huang was deported. There are records to prove that. I'm not sure that we will need to get to the place. But Aisha Huang was deported. She's reached the country. She's been arrested. She's been remanded. We are very certain that we would follow the full records of that will bring her to book. The
National Identification Authority, having regard for this information you talk about, still released for us details of her Ghana non-citizen card. I believe that is to settle all the issues around her Ghana card controversy. Do you not think that if government released the documents proving that she was deported, and maybe some more evidence, including when she was being put on a plane to leave Accra, that would reassure Ghanaians that the government did not lie to them?
We would want to reassure Ghanaians through your network, and even as we prepare to go to court, that the government of Ghana and the leadership of President Danquah has not lied to Ghanaian people as it relates to Aisha Huang's deportation.
Finally, what is Osafo Mafo's response to this latest decision by the AG?